Hi guys, it's Granny Tana speaking. Welcome to this FS22 Let's Map video. I keep on building on my American map Marigold Farm. And in the last part we worked on the village. We added some buildings that we got from Elm Creek. And in between episodes I played around a little bit and I made some discoveries, nice discoveries, and I'll show you now. And then I want to paint the first fields this time. So what I did is, it was not too much. Last time I copied this building and turned it around to have it different. So here it looks like that, and here it looks different but rather similar. And then after this episode I searched for a red texture for the walls, and I think now it looks different enough. And then I took this building, which is the same as this, but with the blue texture. And yeah, when we were roaming around, I found this veranda thingy, which is modular part object somehow, only this. And I tried whether this would look good placed at a house as something like a shop or so. And so this is nothing done yet. I only removed the card boxes. But I think if I would make something like a wallpaper with some image of that, what the shop will be. Maybe if it's a bakery, then I would make an image, something like a wallpaper, like the fake rooms in other buildings, but self-made, that shows a shelf with a lot of bakery stuff and so. And then I would add some table here in front where a counter where the bread is sold, and so I would have 3D objects that that match the building, and for the back wallpaper to give it more depth somehow. Yeah. And then a sign, bakery also. And I think with this veranda I can do quite a lot, so I can make it in different colors, and always the inside would look different. And then I think I can build at least 3 stores or production buildings using that thing as a display area, so to say. And then I thought about this porch, which is a modular object as well. So I can take this and put it in front of the building, for example, or so. And I could add some windows here, and maybe at white double door or so, and then have some selling area inside or so that we would have another kind of building that could be something like a shop or a store, or maybe a production. And I think production and store can very well go together. The bakery will be a production, but it looks like a shop. And I think I would remove this tailor store because I really don't like it. It doesn't match this wooden typical rural style somehow. And therefore I would remove it and make a tailor store out of the existing building. I just see if I would add windows here and here a door, this could be the selling area of tailor store, for example. And I would add stuff that matches the task, so to say. Yeah, and a sign, and that it doesn't look like a residential house. And that would be small production buildings, a little bit like in Silver Run Forest, where we have those wooden buildings that don't look like that, but more like that, or a little bit bigger, and they are production buildings. And yeah, it would take some work for sure to add the windows and maybe construct a door that fits perfectly snugly into this, but I think I would like it, and I would really like this village to look in this style. And then I discovered this building somewhere in Elm Creek. It's a pity that this slope here is so high, so I have to think about how to make it usable, but I'll find a solution. And I think this would be a perfect building for maybe a grain mill, and the magic happens inside, or maybe in a different color a barn where we could sell our silage beside the animal dealer or so. And I think we could make something out of it, or maybe even several different things. Yeah, I like it, and it's bigger than the residential buildings, and there are a lot of very nice other barns at Elm Creek as well. So we will be able to, but this, for example, this may stay closed and only as a decorative object with a function around. And the other barns that I would use for farm building, they should be usable as a shed and such. But we will find a lot of very nice buildings, and maybe I even cut some of them open. So let's see whether I find one, what I mean, very fast. But maybe you already know what I mean. They are closer to this area here. We should find some, yes, for example, this nice building here. And we could make it in red and in blue. But I don't know whether I will be able to cut it open. That's a problem. Maybe I make it as a production building for farm production or so, if I can't cut it open. So sometimes the cutting open works, but even then it's a lot of work, and sometimes it doesn't work. So, and then I thought, this farmer's market is so nice. I would like to have more of them on this building, but not exactly the same. And I thought, this would be a wonderful old hotel. And maybe with the restaurant area here at the bottom, and here at the top we would have the hotel rooms. And I imagined it at being white instead of red, and maybe you already see it. I tried whether it works. Yeah, and it worked, but this is not at all finished. So I will make a hotel sign and decorate it that we can see that this is the restaurant area maybe. And that it fits into a map. It will be a selling station for all kinds of products. So then we would have selling station outside the village, because to have them all together in this area is a little bit too crowded, and therefore, yeah, we need one here, and we need other selling stations there and at other places in the map, and a hotel that is a little bit outside. And I chose this area because of this island. Then we have some touristic possibilities here. And maybe you ask, why am I building such not necessary stuff already? This is because I want to plan where can I put the fields. And before I do this, I want to paint some more farm areas for more farms. I make them square and then maybe try 50 meters radius and then have a look whether it matches this from the size. I would say approximately. Yeah, that would work. So the farms don't need to be so big, but it is quite big. And where the farm is, I don't have place for fields. Therefore, I place them now. This is rather big. Ooh. Okay, this is, well, let's say it's 100 meters. It's a hectare. 100 meters in square. Maybe I can make it a little bit smaller and then maybe add a field that you can transform into more farm place if you want to have additional farm place, because somehow it takes such a lot of place from the, and it should be flat. So first I make this area flat. Yeah, like so. And then I have to slope it gently here behind. So those are the preparations for the field building. Yeah, if I have the farm here, I think it would be good not to have it too close to the hotel. Maybe I push the hotel more to the right. I think that would be dirt. No, I wanted gravel. Oh, this is animal mud. Don't want animal mud. So this is better. First only for the as a placeholder. And here, there I would need to make the road go down. So fields, the first field only maybe here. And then maybe another farm there. Oh. Yeah. I just put it down for the moment. And then here is the animal dealer and maybe the dealership, but we could have a farm here. Yeah, and then here maybe a smaller farm, a teeny tiny farm. And then further up in the mountains, here, I think here would be a good place, but I make it a flat only later, so maybe this a little bit bigger, or 30 meters radius, so it is 60 meters in each direction, which is rather big. So, and I want this whole area for the main farm, and therefore maybe we can have another small farm here, and there we will see whether we want to have maybe a forestry area or such. Okay, but I think this is enough as so to say reservation area where I don't paint fields. And now I have to slope this, so, or smooth it better. Yeah, it works rather okay. 50, maybe a little bit bigger. Oh, it's still very, very steep here. So maybe even bigger, and then, no, maybe like 70 meters. And it shouldn't reach the area of the farm. Does it change at all? Yes, it does. But it is very slowly. And here also. Because you don't want to climb a steep step to come to your fields. So. Yeah, and with the shape of the fields, I think I'll try to make them as rectangular as possible. But when the landscape is demanding a different shape, then I don't shy away from different shapes as well. So they will be a mixture between rectangular, very helper-friendly, easy fields and yeah, maybe a little bit more complex fields, but I won't make very complicated fields. I'm really not into fields with 1,000 corners, this is a speciality for other mappers, I would say. So look what we have here. But here you see it moving, at least. So I want to have a gentle slope down to the river. And I will see whether I can manage this with this smoothing tool. Usually it should work, but somehow it's always so slow. The opacity is only 0.6. Maybe this works faster then. Oops. Here. Is it better? No. But first I work on this nasty step. I think first I leave it as small as this, the circle area, and then when this is nicely done, I go and enlarge it and treat a bigger area. And what I just thought, before I thought in this afternoon, I thought maybe I should make the videos a little bit shorter, this Let's Map videos, and that wouldn't mean that I won't work as long, but it would mean that I make a recording break when I do some tedious, boring work. So maybe I show you parts of it like this, and then when I realize, okay, this takes a while, I'll make a break, and then we keep on with the video as soon as this work is done, and we go to the next step. And that's exactly what I'll do now. So now the slopes are rather okay. They are not really perfect, but I think they shouldn't be really perfect because it should look still a little bit natural, but I will work on it another time. Here I made some nicer slopes as well, and there will still be some work to do. And before we paint the fields, I want to let the magic happen, and I thought this would be interesting for you because I want to make a dirt road up here, and yeah, I already prepared the spline and the script for this. This is narrower than this other road, and maybe I'll change it later if I'm not so happy with it. It is the scripts. Let's see. Paint dirt road Marigold. Now we have to wait. Here it is. So now I can make this invisible, and the other splines as well. Maybe we need them later, but not now. Yeah, and so as you can see, it's not perfect, but somehow we have somewhere to go. And what is with this mailbox? I just push it here. And this is flying down here. Maybe I should make an area for the dealership as well. So I paint gravel again and square. Oi, this is so big. I think it's too big. We need a big place for all the vehicles that you will buy. But maybe that like this should be okay. And maybe a little bit distance, then we can plant some flowers beside the road and have a little entrance. So, and for me it's not yet decided whether the dealership will be here in the end or rather close to the animal dealer. But then if you tell me no, I don't want it here, I want it there, because in reality it would be somewhere there, then I can just place it somewhere else and yeah, make a field out of this. So now it's time for the fields, and maybe we start here and then later we go up here to our main farm. Okay, so I don't make the real fields now. I just paint placeholders out of dirt. And the construction of the field is a totally different thing later. But before I make the construction of the real fields, I could show you how it is done, because this is quite funny. Yeah, it's here in the gameplay area, and here the first field. You have the field dimensions here with several corners and such. Where is it? Let's see. Should be somewhere. Woohoo. This is because I'm in the paint mode. Okay, now it should. Okay, yeah, here it's higher up, because Elm Creek is higher than this map, and so the corners are defined. This is a really complicated field, and so an area is made with those points, and I just remove those points because we will have different fields anyhow. And then there is a field map indicator that is in the center of the field. And those are the field definitions that work for the contracts, but not only for the contracts, but for everything the NPCs plants on their fields. So when you don't own a field and there is wheat growing, then this comes from this dimensions, and you can't even see it on the map normally, usually. So first I just paint the placeholders that you can see, and then I make this field definitions according to the placeholders. And the definition of the farmlands is another thing, another different thing. So I think this was 40. Yeah, I thought why not going for the same height, and then yeah, this is the question, how do I want this road to end, because those people wouldn't like to always go there if they could just go here and I could make it whoosh. Yeah, why not just make it whoosh straight? And then we have all this area for our first field. Maybe this is best. So we have dirt, okay. And I limit it to texture grass because then I don't have problems to paint over other stuff. Yeah, and this here, this square is smaller than a hectare. It should be 40 by 40. No, it's 80 by 80. It's 0.6 of a hectare. And 50 is a hectare. Yeah, it is bigger. But I still start with the 40 by 40 because we make it bigger than a square, we make it a rectangle. Like so, I would say. Oh, no. And then I'll move the hotel. But first I just paint over it. And maybe make it about the same size as before. Is it? Yeah, it is not perfect enough. I could even make it bigger. Yeah, I think it's okay for the moment. And now I move the hotel. So then the hotel lives there. It needs some place around. Okay, and then we keep on painting. And here we can do the same stuff. So always a little bit of distance. And let's see, maybe the distance will be big enough to grow some trees here and there. But I rather have some trees at the long side and no trees at all at the short sides of fields. And at the long side only rather far away from the field border, because on some maps it's really a problem and it's annoying when the trees are like where my mouse is, when they are here, then the helpers don't work, the combines have problems and a lot of annoying stuff, and therefore I would prefer a little distance, and therefore we need distance between the fields. But here this would stay empty with grass and maybe some bushes without collision. And here this will become smaller. And I have to even it out. Like so, but it can become long. So. Just for the fun of it. And do I make some groundwork? Yeah, this is okay. Okay. So, and here we can have bigger fields. But yeah, I think we need a road to the water here, and we need a road somewhere here, and maybe like this, and maybe I should just paint it or make a little spline. It's fast, a little spline, then it looks better from the beginning. So like here would be a good starting point. And then the end point, and pushing it down a little bit. And here, where is a reasonable place? I think here would be a reasonable place to cross over to the island, but not like that. I turn it. And I won't use this because it doesn't match, but I want to have it as a placeholder. Somehow it's a pity that it won't match because it's a nice bridge. So where's our spline again? Good. Okay. So, and down, maybe further back. So I think I need smaller steps for the slope. Okay, maybe I go closer down. Oh, and now it disappears. What a pity. Come on. I have to pull it up. And here too. Come on. And for the painting, I don't need it at the height of this, but maybe I will use the spline for different things too, and then the height is important. And therefore I always pull it up and push it down. So this is nearly done. Okay. Okay. This looks a little bit not so nice. Yeah, like this is better. Okay. And now I save and then I let the magic happen again. I love it so much when the computer does the work. Okay, for the moment I would say it's like it should be. And now we have the chance for a field that is no square. But I wonder whether it's maybe a good idea to make something different here. Not a regular field, but maybe plant some trees and have some meadow there to have some landscape. So then maybe I'm just making fields there. And maybe I make something like 3 fields, and if you want to have a big field, then you could combine them together. So let's see. Or one field that is, I think one field that is bigger than the fields we already have. And then another field. Something like that. So maybe only up to here, because maybe the village will grow a little bit more. So, and here I think we can leave it straight, because we don't really need to follow the water bank exactly. We can make some greenery here and bushes and such. But here I would like to follow this dirt road. So. And then the field will still be good for the helpers. So this is no problem at all for the helpers. No. Rather more like this. Okay, here I have to think about this corner. Yeah, I think that gives you the feeling of we can have rather big fields here. But how big is it? Let's see. This would be 200 in diameter. So 80. Yeah, it's about 80, so 160. Maybe it's about 3 hectares or such. Yeah, and those are around 1 hectare. So it's not huge, but it's bigger than the others. And then I make one field here. Maybe like so. Okay. And there we could even start with bigger fields. Now I want some distance to be able to grow some trees in between the fields. But I think this is more than enough. And yeah, let's see. If the owner of this farm wants to expand it, I think he would buy this or this field or use it for expansion, and then this, because it is sloped, would be still used as a field. So I can make this field rather big, but maybe not too big, because it should stay affordable. So. Oh, this is a nice field, I would say. Maybe we could just align it with this farm area. Okay. So, can you imagine how this will look? Maybe I do 1 or 2 more fields. Like so. And then maybe in the next part we do the fields of the farm together. And in between I would add more fields to this area. So, oh. No, it keeps getting bigger and bigger. So when it's not flat, it's quite difficult to make this straight. And here we have one. And I hope the distance is big enough to have some trees there in between. Maybe I have to check this out, and then, yeah, if it's not working, I make the distance between the fields a little bit bigger. Maybe I should measure it, and we could go a little bit further here. Like so. Okay, so I make 10 meters. And then we go down here. So this is less. I go to maybe 9 meters. Yeah, so this distance is 18 meters. And when we have the trees in the middle, we would have 9 meters to the field border each. I think that should be enough. But before finishing the fields, I would try this. So I would plant some trees here and then we go in game. Yeah, anyhow, I think rather soon we could go in game. Right now it's not yet a good idea, but it will not take such a long time until we can go in game. And here now we can see that this ridge is a little bit too steep maybe. So I have maybe to flatten it out a little bit, smooth it, and so. Yeah, so how many fields do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and I think there we can have the same amount, and here we can have another one. So 30, 40 fields wouldn't be a problem, I guess. Maybe 40 fields in different sizes are possible. And I think 40 fields is maybe a good number. And if you prefer bigger fields, you can always bring them together. Yeah. Okay, oh, and what I think, what we could do as a last task, just to make it more cozy, I take this barn, which would be nice, very nice here, and I copy it. Okay, and then I put it down here just to get a feeling for this. So as you can see, this will be a small farm. But as I already said, we start with small farms, and then if you want to have a bigger farm, you could expand in this or that direction. So I have to take care to make this areas here rather flat, at least half of it or so, that you can build more stuff easily. Here this is not flat at all, but we can make this. So, and now we need something like a farmhouse. Maybe I just import one that I haven't already. Then we have a new one. This is number farmhouse, residential house 8. Okay. Yeah. And if I find the time, I should arrange everything a little bit better. This is not where I need to be. I need to be here in Marigold Farm, placeables. It was number 8, residential house 8. And maybe I like it in white. Maybe this is white because the other is blue and red. Okay. And now I place it here. Oh, now it looks more tiny. This is good. So you get the feeling you have more place for your farm. So much more place. And then maybe I just import a little bit more, so to get a feeling what is possible in this area and how it could look later. American barn silo, no, I'd like a different silo maybe. Oh, and a carport, yes, a carport would be nice. And the animal trader open hall. I hope this is not the very huge. I think it is the huge. So then I take this. No, this is the long one. Then I try this one. Okay, the carport and the silo extension. I think it's called farm silo 1. Yeah, why not farm silo 1? Let's see what we get. Okay. This is the huge one, okay. But I think it's okay. I just place it there. And in the end, if you have a really farm, you need such a huge one. So then it's not too bad. And we have the carport there. And a farm silo can be there. Okay. And then we need an entrance area. So we take gravel. This is for driving. And this smaller one, oh, it's still big. And this is a little bit too small. And for the carport, so like so. So this is your private entryway, and yeah, now we maybe I just place a tree in the center, then it looks nicer. Somehow I like to play around from time to time. So things like that, we perfectly know that this is not the finished farm that we built there. No, I think I take grass. So something round, and then we plant a tree there. Yeah, and I like to play around to get a feeling how it could look, because without it everything would look very strange and somewhat sterile. We have some rectangles now. You can imagine it could be fields later, but right now they don't look like fields, they only look like dirt. But I think when I put a tree there and so maybe it gets better. And it gives us the feeling this could be an agricultural map sooner or later. So where do we have the trees? Here are some trees, yeah. And here I have one oak, and I just copy it and place it there. And then I paint some grass here. So this is not the deco bush, but the grass. No, the meadow with flowers. Harvest ready, and it should only be on the grass texture. And then, yeah, I can put it here. I think this is enough from the size. And you can only see it when you are rather close. But we can go rather close and then you see it. And I think it helps already a little bit. It will take quite a while until the whole map feels like home. And therefore I try to make some areas that are a little bit with a feeling like home. Only a little bit. Because it's still, yeah, not a cozy farm, but I would say better than nothing. Maybe some bushes here, some bushes. I close the mesh painting, and then here I have maybe 2 meters. Where are the bushes? Oh, yes, I know what I did. Here and there. Oh, I think it helps already. At least a little bit. And here some little flowers. And later when the fields are done and the whole structure is done somehow in this large dimension, then we can go into the details and work on in one video on one farm and make it really nice, and go to one area where is the water and make it really nice. Now it's sadly it's not yet the time to make anything really nice, but it will come when the the structure is done somehow. The rough work. And then we have time for the fine work. It is the coneflower, okay, yeah. And then we can go to every corner and make it nice, cozy and bucolic. Yeah, but like this here I get a feeling, okay, we will have a map with agriculture. And I'll try to manage it that we can go in-game as soon as possible. But I think it will still take some episodes with this Let's Map until we can go in-game. And then the being in-game will be rather strange, which is normal. But yeah, from it will become better and better. Okay, that's it for today. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for watching and all the best. Till next time. Tschüss.